A court took out the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man. Need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the props. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. You know, like we all come together. You know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world to know. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the props. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to wrong with step. I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it. Let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss. Ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace. Just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep me slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high. Got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed through a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turn into coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill, chill, yo, chill.
Industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
One West, 12 tribes, UPK. Yeah. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. Ever since a nigga was young, I knew what I wanted. Knew that we could either be hunters or with the hunted. Meaning only choice was the predators or the prey. Showed this man wherever I was, but I didn't play. Then I started spitting, set fire to every stage. Rap gave a little bit of buzz, but it didn't stay. Then I started hustling, getting at some bread. I always went broke, making sure that my niggas fed. But then I looked for loyalty, niggas, they wasn't there. The same that I shed blood for, and it wasn't fair. But fuck it though, turn they back on a real nigga. It's when I found UPK and I'm still with them. Trill with them, cause I've been in the field with them. Fringed up garments, rocking the shield with them. I never turn traitor, I never let my colors fly. Never get my brother's bosom. I ain't like that other guy, nothing like them funny groups. They just better get in line. If you in the middle, you confused, you should pick a side. Me, I must stay loyal to the king till the day I die. I am One West, head beating in my chest. Fuck all the rest, we stayed, y'all left. Suckers ran scared, had to clean up y'all mess. That's why we took over, I can see that y'all stressed. We ain't got time to worry about no hater. My life is like a movie, should come with a narrator. They gather data, they wanna see us assimilated. Marching through the streets, know we coming, you hear our cadence. All you smell is Henny and frankincense is the fragrance. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. My squad is forever. It's forever. Squad is forever. When a nigga in this mode like I get so hyped, shining blinding like a strobe light. I'm my only calm, so I battle me back and forth nights like a bullfight. I see red charge and destroy might. Gave me foresight, so I know that winning the war might have them all tight. Fuck their feelings, cause they the soft type. I was always taught never turn your back on your brothers. Take on any enemy, know the strength in these numbers. UPK official, and ain't no coward among us. So make me go and bang with them sticks like I'm a drummer. How y'all gonna run with the style that we invented? You always talk the war was wild, but you never in it. All that coulda, shoulda, woulda. I see how you try to spin it. The way my soldiers move out, you think that we got evicted. It's One West in the building, we owning it while you renting. Lyrical exercise in the booth is my Planet Fitness. Words move you like calisthenics. Bars heavy, so when I bench it, I'm building up a hardcore. I flex when I'm finished. And right after a light workout, it's back to business. Group sick of UPK, cause we the illest. I got one question, will they ever stop hating? Waiting on this war so long, I'm salivating. Niggas turn bitch so strong, I call them Caitlyn. I get the green light, it's go, no hesitation. Y'all just been holding our spot like reservations. Now we back to work while you suckers still on vacation. Mixtape singles and even collaborations. They smiling in the face, but I know I see aggravation. You ain't got to hide it though, you fucking mighty cone. UPK bringing that heat, you know the fire's on. It's One West. Cause I'm a one West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. It's forever. The squad is forever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 VJ. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. When I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. They all do the street. If a nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us, hit the lead. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Look, I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
One West is too great, son. That's where I came from. That is my A1s. I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son. You cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. I earn my spot, it'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine. Go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days. We learn some hard ways. Always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. 'Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming. My faith, even on the days I wanna break. Saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man that showed me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like a night exam. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tire, man? I was undesired, had no one, and then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazai. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctor's out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I changed,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Clap it up, clap it up. All right, Shalom Israel. Y'all about to me a Shabbat thumb to the brothers. Y'all small, I thumb about some y'all shout to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street. We are led by Commander Jonah Yana. We are not affiliated with any other organization. Pay your tithes. Pay your tithes.
That's right.
The success of a nation is, it's inclusive of teamwork. It's it's, how would I say this? It's a headache for some people who don't love their people, in a sense. You know, little things like paying your tithes, putting in work, brotherhood, sisterhood, things like that. Not eating pork, you know. Or other unclean foods, not celebrating certain holidays or customs. You know, it's a burden for people who don't really love their people and who don't have that concept of brotherhood. I think there was a room on Clubhouse hosted by Captain Tazariak Salaki for Rank and Order, but where they had said like y'all more concerned about precepts, not brotherhood.
Right.
And that's unfortunately very true in a lot of circumstances because people don't care. They've either never had that before in their life, so they have no concept of what it is. They don't know how to apply it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different levels to it that hurt people. You got a lot of people out there that have never experienced that, so they don't know how to trust somebody. They've never had anybody to trust because everybody that they put some trust in stabbed them in the back. You know, lied to them, manipulated them, hurt them in some way, form, fashion, and it leads to a mental health crisis in our communities. So you wonder why brothers are out there very, very aggressive and sisters very aggressive. a lot of this is going to be a result of a lack of brotherhood, of a lack of sisterhood. Now, alcoholism and drug abuse certainly does not help in these situations. You don't want to already have an issue and then self-medicate, thinking that either you're gonna eventually get better, because it's not gonna solve the problem. It's not gonna identify the issue, and it's not gonna provide a solution.
Right.
Drugs and alcohol are just that, drugs and alcohol. That's it. It's not a coping mechanism. It's you know, when it was sanctioned by the priests and the physicians, I mean, it was used for medicinal purposes.
Right.
Maybe there was a surgery being conducted and you had to be kind of sedated. Maybe you had trouble sleeping and you needed something to kind of help ease maybe anxiety or so like, my fault. Turn this off. But you needed something to help kind of, you know, quiet your mind, so that you can get a good rest. You know, these are a lot of issues that plague our people: domestic violence, neglect, you know, broken homes, poverty. Some of the things that we've seen and heard, you know, it didn't necessarily have to happen to you for you to be affected by it.
Right.
I've never, I mean, a lot of things that I've never done, but I see it every day when I go downtown St. Paul or downtown Minneapolis. If I go over north, if I'm on the bus, you know, on the trains or some shit like that, some of these tent cities, some of the things that we see out here, you know, it should have an effect on you. It should have an effect on you. We're gonna get a couple of scriptures to go over some of these topics. One thing I want to say, so the main isupk.com website is still down, it's still under construction. The isupk.org website is under construction too. We're in the process of refurbishing everything and getting everything back up to date. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to any school in any location, and we will get you connected with a school near you if that's part of the issue. Otherwise, we can get you contacted with the counselors if you need any counseling on any problems going on. But we still have a way for you to get in contact with us, so that the information will still be out there, the connection will still be out there, so that you're not out there stranded by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just because the website's down doesn't mean that the work is not being done. Doesn't mean that you can't, that the phone line won't pick up, more or less. What I'm trying to get at. It doesn't mean that the buildings have closed down. It's just the websites are down right now, so it might be harder to get some of the contact information for whoever you might be trying to reach out to. But you can call, if it doesn't matter where you are, you can call the Minnesota school. Our number is on here, right? Slacky? Yeah. On the banner? No, Slacky.
I'll say that. I got you.
All right, Slacky. But you can go to No Cowards, Minnesota, all over YouTube, Facebook, many of our other social media outlets. I believe we're going to put the number in the chat. The watch, sir. On the screen, Slacky. So no matter where you are, if you needed, you know, to make a call, if you needed to get in contact with somebody near you, you can call us. We'll get you connected to them. The doors have not closed. Just the website is going under construction. So still pay your tithes. That does not give you an excuse to not pay your tithes either. Just because like on upk.com, they had that tithes button. They had that donation button that you could click on. You can make your donations and pay tithes there. There's a Zelle app. The Cash App, I believe they closed that down as far as the tithes go, but you still get in contact with the school near you, make any of them arrangements. It's not an excuse to slack. It's just the website's down. The work still continues. And this is very therapeutic, to be honest. The work that we do here, it rationalizes the world. It solves a lot of problems. It makes sense of all this madness that's out here. And it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like, it's good to be with the brothers. It's good to be with the sisters. You know what I'm saying? It's good to chop it up and being around like-minded people.
Right.
that had the same concerns, that got have had this similar same experiences, but will also have an empathetic ear to that'll listen, to your plight. You're not alone out here, and especially for a lot of men, there's this stigmatism of how closed down we gotta be, how mentally, physically strong we gotta be, how emotionally together everything's gotta be, which is very important for the stability of the times. I think we're gonna get into that scripture too, but there is a need for mental health awareness and counseling.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying again, you're not alone. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can contact any school, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Snapchat.
Right.
Any brother that you run across that's in the school, any sister even that you run across that's in the school, we can provide you with the correct contact information. We'll get you in touch. We'll get you back home.
That's right.
You're not alone out there, and I don't want people to feel that maybe just because they've never heard of us, or they taking maybe they taking too many burdens on their own shoulder that don't belong to them.
Right.
I've done that. I know I've done that before.
Right.
Worried about things that ain't got shit to do with me. Slucky, ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm worried about the job's needs. I'm worried about the plantation needs, and I take that same stress and concern back home. And now I can't sleep, or I'm too restless, and I'm worried about their thing, and I ain't got the energy or time available to worry about our thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this truth helps create that separation.
That's right.
That division that's very necessary between us and the world. They're not going to conform to us. They want us to conform to them. That's how they make money off us. The whole system is set up for that. Which is why we teach the truth in such a militant and aggressive fashion, because not everybody's, how would I say it? Not everybody's ready for that.
Right.
Not everybody's ready to do that. But you got brothers over here that are. And once you shake loose the weight and the pressure of this society and their expectations and their demands, I mean, you're gonna feel that weight lift off your shoulder. You're gonna be able to move. You're gonna move different. It's not just that you're gonna be able to. You're going to. Right. Things are gonna start changing in your life. You're gonna have a different reaction to things. You're not gonna be as worried or stressed out about certain things. That doesn't mean neglect your bills, your rent, your car note if you got one. We still got to live in society. We still got to live out here in this world. We still got to, pay taxes, obeying the laws of the lands. Still go see the doctor if you're sick or something. Your kids still might need braces or glasses. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's the ISUPK, the Universal Practical Knowledge. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's something that you can apply to everyday life to help ease this pain that we're going through. And that's why we talk so much about brotherhood and sisterhood, because we spend most of our time around each other, and there's always tension and hostility around each other. And that's what the Bible is. It's a part of the instruction. In the New Testament, as they will call it, the law hinges on two things, and right. This solves like everything else. So let me just pull this up real quick. Salakia, one second.
I got you. I got it.
So the what?
Matthew, right?
I think so. If I could type accurately.
Okay. Is this it?
And then the whole thing.
Yeah.
What was that? I don't like your phone. Either that or your phone don't like me. Could be that.
Yeah, you trying to go back?
Yeah, real quick, just to see where that verse was. That one. Okay, so 22 and 40. I'll stop at Thwad.
Yeah.
All right, so Yahushua. All right, so first they were trying to press Yahushua because he was that nigga. He was that guy. He was that dude, man. He was the boss, and he ran it. You can use a different vernacular. Caught myself, but he ran the block. You know what I'm saying? Like he ran the neighborhood. People knew who he was. They recognized his authority. Other people were threatened by it, so they always tried to trip him up, right? So they approach him, Master, which is a great commandment in the law. It's like if you look at verse 35, Matthew 22 and 35, then one of them, and this is one of the Pharisees, if you look at 34, but when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. So they saw these brothers, these hardcore, hard-hitting brothers, put this other break-off group to shame. They shut them up completely. So now they try to muster in together and trying to step to the plate because their position was being threatened, and they didn't like that. Why would they? You know, you think Creflo Dollar and Peter Popoff are gonna just, I would say, concede the fact that they're liars? Who was it? TD Jake said that finally admitted.
No, it was Creflo.
That was Creflo. Okay, it's like I got it backwards. Yeah, Creflo finally admitted that he was a liar this entire time. That he didn't know what the hell he was doing and talking about. He kept your money though.
Right.
He kept your money. He didn't give that up. He didn't concede that point that, oh well, I robbed you too. Which is essentially what he's saying with this. If he lied to you about the word, he is admitting that he robbed your ass.
Right.
Like he should be sued. Like you, sir.
So like not only that, he said burn all
of it. Yeah.
So burn all the evidence.
He robbed you. He should be sued.
Right.
He should be sued by everybody and their mama that he took from. Wake your grandma up, tell her to go get her money back. And then you soothe him on top of that due to pain and suffering. Because everything that you were told by them, the entire life that you were governed under their influence, led to our destruction. Christianity will lead to rape, child molestation, pedophilia, drug abuse, death, jail. It leads to that. Just like Islam, just like Scientology, just like atheism, just like agnostics. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's pushed on us leads to our destruction. Quakers don't push their theology on us. They just stay to their own damn communities. Whether they're Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever. I don't even know what a Quaker belief system is like that. Right. But they keep to themselves. No sweat. Do that over there. That's fine.
Right.
You got Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons knocking on your door, though. You got a Christian church on every corner. Just as many liquor stores as you got in the hood, you got a church in the hood too.
Right.
That should ping off a couple of alarms. And they're all different denominations. You're gonna have a Lutheran, Catholic, Christian, Presbyterian, Baptist church all in the same blocks. On the south side, on the north side, south side of Milwaukee, it's predominantly Hispanic neighborhoods. So you got a lot of Catholic churches and schools around there. Right. But on the north side too, you got a little bit of everything. I remember one day, man, I was taking the bus out there, and literally in a 4 or 5 block radius. I'm staying in the middle of this one intersection. I'm looking in all directions around me. There's 5 churches. Right there. That's a commonality. It's like
You said the north side.
In Milwaukee.
Right?
In Milwaukee.
It's funny because that's the same thing. North
Same
side.
thing here?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing. It's funny how all of our ghettos got something in common, huh?
Yeah.
All of our barrios got something in common. How all the reservations got something in common with each other.
Yeah.
It's by no coincidence. It's certainly by design. So now these Sadducees, these Pharisees that got shut up many times before too. This ain't the first battle that they had. One of these nerds come up, then one of them, which was a lawyer, so he's supposed to be prolific in the law. That's where we get the word lawyer from, Levi, lawyer. That's how they get the word lawyer in that practice, because they were the chief priest of maintaining and executing, practicing, upholding the law. One of them, verse 35, Matthew 22:35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him. Insane. So again, he was trying to provoke him. He was trying to lead him down somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Tempting him and saying, Master, verse 36, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Verse 37, Yahweh said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. That covers a whole plethora of responsibility and law. You're not going to be serving the God of Christmas and New Year's under this. Right. You're not going to be celebrating birthdays and Thanksgiving, holidays that belong to other cultures.
Right.
Based off of this. You're not going to worship wood and stone because of this, because the Most High, doesn't allow any graven images or worship to any other idols.
Right.
So that takes off a lot of burdens from a lot of people right off top, because that so I used to be kind of in that whole like energy medicine kind of world for a while. So instead of you having this dogma about quartz, a quartz stone, anytime you come across a quartz stone, you got to try to, you maybe want to pick it up or something like that, hold in your pocket, because it's going to have some, supernatural frequency, healing powers and shit like that. So you want to keep it close to you so that you can heal yourself and your loved ones. Mm-hmm. It's a stone, bro. It's a stone. And that'll eliminate a lot of confusion for a lot of people, thinking that they would have to adhere to something like that because it's Mother Nature. Right. It was provided for us, or it would be I would be exuding negative energy if I did not take advantage of the gifts that Mother Nature gave us. The earth is not a thinking, feeling being.
Right. It's
a ball of rock and water and fire and foliage and life on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't have emotions. It's a thing. Right. Just to dumb it down, it's a thing. It's an object. It's not that big a deal either.
Right.
The things that we get from it absolutely have benefits. But that's the things that we put in our bodies: medicines, food. Mm-hmm. You're not going to gain any spiritual wisdom or gifts, capabilities, rubbing a ruby over your chest. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. Right. It's a stone. But you had other people with different belief systems. So now, worshiping the Most High, it's like it. Loving the Most High with all thy heart and with all thy soul, with all thy mind, eliminates a lot of confusion. Keeps everything very linear, very black and white, very straightforward, straight edge. And you don't have to worry about a whole lot of other stuff in the meantime. It answers all your questions. It gives you direction. Now, if you follow that direction, that's going to lead to a better quality of life. Mm-hmm. If you deter from that path, again, people die. Right. People die. I don't know if y'all know this about people, but people die off of cancer because they smoked since they were 9 years old. off of a high cholesterol because they've been eating pork since they were 3 years old. Because they're drug addicts, because they're alcoholics, because that's all they've ever seen in their house. That's all they've ever seen in their neighborhood. That's like in verse 38. So this is the first and great commandment. Now verse 39, the second is like unto it, meaning it's just as important. It has that level of importance. You know, the first law, of course, it's on top. Right. The second law, it's right up there though. Right. It's right up there. The second hinge that this hangs off. The second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Verse 40, on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So now, if you analyze this, so thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet another man's wife, thou shalt not murder. These are all, brotherhood and sisterhood scriptures and laws that not only keep us safe, keep us civil, and again, keep us separate from everybody else. That first law too, loving the Most High with all thy mind, body, it's like with all that heart and all that soul and all that mind, keeps us separate from all the other nations too and their customs. Right. Because we got our own set of, we got our own way of life that was provided. So that keeps us separate. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, all the other nations that didn't necessarily have laws, it might have been in heathen nations, nobody, how would I say this? Murder is pretty much against everybody's moral construct. Right. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like they don't, that's at the very least frowned upon in their communities, even though they do it. But for society, for civility on paper, they got to say murder is wrong because nobody wants their son murdered, their daughter murdered, right. Your husband or your wife, your parents, your brother, your sister. Nobody wants to see them murdered. Well, I guess except for Cain. I guess there are some exceptions. But everybody pretty much across the board can agree that these are negatives, that these are things that you don't want to live around, to be around. But are still practiced, especially by those people that are in power. Right. So again, they'll send you one message. They're going to be doing something completely different behind the scenes, but they're going to tell you what to do. Right. No, sorry. That leads to madness, man. That leads to confusion. That leads to instability. And this is why we need our records. Ours. We don't need Siegfried and Roy. I don't know if I said that name right. Siegfried and Royd. I think I called him Royd, like hemorrhoid. No sweat. He's still a burden anyway. You're blissed on your bum. Right. We need our records to keep our people in line. Asian people got their records to keep their people in line. And this is just because of the current regime that's in power. Mm-hmm. That's it. So their laws of the land are going to be a little bit different. But it's still not going to add up or promote the same moral compass that the Bible does for us. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you are commanded by our law to not practice Buddhism or Hinduism or Islam, Christianity, this, that, and the third. It leads to confusion. It blurs, that dividing line. Right. That we need as a people. It's very important to stay separated and stay to be holy, to be different than everybody else. That's right. To be completely set apart. It's very important for that. For our well-being, for our mental health, for our longevity, and to to help bring this empire to its end. You know, we start getting in line, the more and more and more and more of us start getting in line, showing the Most High that, you know, we're repenting and apologetic for what we've done, leaving home, and you know, coming under the authority of our oppressor and adhering to it, and you know, choosing that side over his. That's gonna, you know, we're pretty much signing a petition for, hey, Salakia, Adawan, you know, end this. You know, we want to come home. You know, hey, please, Salakia, forgive us, bring us back, allow us to come back home, so that you can take back control of this thing and set it right.
Right.
So you ain't got to see our families in mental hospitals, in the prisons. I mean, just filling up the prison system, man. We are their number one stock and bond.
Yeah.
We are their cash crop, and we talk about this in a lot of classes across the board. Their success depends on our destruction.
Right.
They make so much money off of us being destroyed, being drug addicts and being alcoholics and being murderers and being thieves and being rapists. They make so much money off of that.
Right.
Being Christians, celebrating Christmas and birthdays and Halloweens and Thanksgiving. They make money off of our hypocrisy and our destruction, our devastated communities. They make money off of that. If our communities are broke and impaired and have no way of fixing or healing our problems, then we gotta depend on them.
Right.
So they got, you know, we gotta request an EBT card. We gotta request, you know, financial aid. We gotta request their help. So now they have to fund and establish all of these programs to help the poor and the needy. They make millions, billions, trillions off of us disobeying the law,
right,
that we were given. And what's been the result of that? It's been instability. It's been confusion. It's been destruction. And the Lord is not going to let them get away with that. Right. There's going to come a point in time to where, I mean, this whole world is going to get flipped on its head. Mm-hmm. And the shoe's going to kind of be on the other foot. And the rest of the world is not going to know what to do, where to go, who to turn to, except for the men of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be established in the UPK. I know there's a lot of, like, I've been on Clubhouse recently, there's a lot of different groups and coalitions, you could say, that that might be following the law to the best of their abilities. Just the one part that they're forgetting is, for example, Zephaniah 2:1, gathering together and falling. I mean, it's so stupid. It's right in front of our faces, but still nobody seems to want to apply it to their life. Right. There's only one truth.
That's right.
And we are perfectly comfortable and bold enough saying that the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana has the complete 100% truth.
Right.
Unadulterated truth.
That's right. Yeah, right.
Unequivocal to anybody else. And I've had these conversations with a lot of brothers on our Clubhouse, just flat out asking them, like, listen, do you have the 100% truth? None of them say yes. I had one brother that said, if I'm right, then I do. So, yeah. Yeah. So he said, so that was his statement. If I'm right on what I'm teaching, then yes, I have 100% truth. So now you're still conceding to the fact that you don't, because now it's a if. Right. Now,
so if I may, it's a simple answer.
It's a simple answer.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay?
There you go.
Black or white? Which
right.
one is it? Do you right. got it or don't you? Because if you don't, how the hell can you put yourself in a position to be a teacher? Like, who approved you to be a teacher? I got into one battle with this brother. We were talking about, it's like this might have been a different topic, but I was asking them, like, just kind of bust down your credentials if you could, just so I understand where you're coming from. Because we'll tell you where we come from. Like, our history is very open. You can track it. You can trace us back. Ain't nothing wrong with, like, it's an open book. Come and ask the questions. We're gonna give you that answer. You ask us a yes or no question, we're gonna tell you yes or no. Now, if we got to explain it further after that, no sweat, we can have that conversation. But for the black and white of it, for the short of it, like, we'll tell you yes, no. If I personally don't know, no sweat. Like, I got somebody I can find out from though. But I was in a battle with this one brother, and he was telling me how he is a teacher, how he took this office, to teach to the people, to preach to them, to lead them. And I'm like, all right, if you took on an office, first off, that should mean that somebody was hiring, that there was a position open and that somebody was hiring if you took an office. So now, who hired you? Who put you in that position to be a teacher, to minister to our people, to counsel our people in these trying times too? Like ain't nothing new under the sun. Some of the issues that we're going with right now in 2022 ain't no different than the 60s, the 20s, the 1880s, the 1760s, back and back and back and back. Just now we got YouTube and Clubhouse and things like that.
Right.
The manipulation was the same. The blatant destruction and power control was the same. Like, none of that thing changed. So who are you to minister to somebody who has an illness, who's got a serious issue? Like, you're strictly on social media. I think that's one of the things I posted to him. Like, I said, you're on Clubhouse. Then what? He's like, well, no, I'm not just on Clubhouse. I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter. And I'm like, all right, no sweat. You're on Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Then what? Like, what else? What else are you going to do? Except give people horrible advice, because you admitted that you don't have 100% truth. You don't know how to facilitate that truth to the people, but you're gonna put yourself. You hired yourself to do a job. Just say that you're self-employed. Then just say that you're your own boss. You create your own hours. No sweat. Just say it though. Just say it. And stop lying to the people, because this isn't a game. This isn't a joke. People's lives are on the line in this work. And if you don't take this serious, people die. And you're not going to take responsibility for that. You're not going to pick up the pieces after the vessel breaks.
Right.
You're not going to clean it up and put it back together. You don't know you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You have no authority to do this job, because the men who have the authority to hire for these positions did not hire you. You never submitted your application.
Right.
That's why we have this school, to teach this profession, to be a servant unto the people. Like, this is something that y'all don't get. You're not wrapping your head around. Our people are dying out here, man. They in danger. Right. Our enemies are all around us, taking advantage of us, picking at us left and right. The little scraps that we have left as a community, that little bit of brotherhood that's holding this society in place, they picking away at it, and they chomping at the bit to watch us fall, because that's how they make their money. That's how they get their prestige and their authority over us, by us disobeying these laws.
Right.
Put it to use. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a 90-day challenge. I've said this a few times. Let's do a 90-day challenge. Practice these laws, statutes, commandments for 90 days. Put it into effect in your household. And bear witness to what it does. And be honest about it. And I know the pressures of the world that we've lived in make it uncomfortable for us to adhere to this. Like I get it. Yeah, everybody else around you is eating, you know, all the different food and doing all the different drugs that they want that you used to do with them. And now you want to change. And you don't have the support of the same people that you used to get high with or eat unclean foods with. And now they take an offense to you not wanting to eat certain foods. Like it'll be that dumb over food, man.
Right.
It'll be that dumb that your family turn their back on you over food, over Christmas, over Halloween, over New Year's, over somebody's birthday. It's going to be that stupid of an excuse for them to not back you up.
Right.
And they're going to try to guilt trip you. Like, if you love, like, I thought you loved me. If you love me, like, why ain't you doing this? Why ain't you doing that? Well, shit, nigga, if you loved us, why ain't you over here? Look at what this is, like, look at what we're doing here in real life. Look at what the school has done already since 1969. The drug dealers and murderers and criminals that has gotten off the street. The lives and families that have been saved because of this truth. The dynamics are radically different. And I understand it's something tough to wrap your head around. But again, we ain't gonna lie to you about it.
Right.
And some of the issues that we got with mental instability, it's propagated and as a direct result of our captivity and our oppression. Again, that's how they capitalize off of us. That's how they make their wages. Like there's so many government funded organizations out there that would not exist if we were not on drugs. Flat out, they would not exist if we were not on drugs. They don't even support their own people like that. Right. They didn't start this for them. They did it because we are really good drug addicts. We are really good sinners. We're really good at committing crimes. Someone to the point that we fill up their jails. We're really good at being disobedient, which got us in this mess.
Right.
And it's a tough thing to let go of. It's, you know, like it's, how would I say, that chaos is like a security blanket for some people because we're so used to it. That PTSD that we've been living in, where we're used to, bro, we can live on the streets. We can live on the bridges and we can live in the alleys and we can eat out of dumpsters and we can beg for money and we can hustle and steal like nobody's business. We got used to being criminals. We got used to being drug addicts. We got used to being crazy, man.
Right.
And nobody out there is looking for that solution but us.
That's right.
So if you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and you fancy yourself being a priest or a teacher or a prophet or a prophetess, hell, let the sisters get some action too. Get in this body.
Right.
Come back home so that we can for real build this together. Because you're doing that as an individual, and you think that building a unity camp with somebody on Clubhouse or on Facebook, that you're doing something progressive for the people. You ain't doing shit. Mm-hmm. Salaki, you ain't doing nothing in real life. Mm-hmm. In real life. Social media is not affecting it's not paying their bills. You know, like the brothers and sisters that are homeless, that are broke, that are struggling paycheck to paycheck. Your social media success does not help them get out of poverty. It doesn't put food in their kitchen, in their fridge, in their cabinets. It's not addressing damaging issues for that individual, for the family, for our community, for the nation. And everybody's mind is thinking about that big, about that far ahead of them. We've got a nation to consider here. Who else is going to do this job? You got to mean it. If you're going to be here, you got to mean it, what you're doing.
Right.
You're not going to be successful at any job that you have no care for and that you haven't been trained in. Isaiah 33, chapter 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
That's right.
And strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You got to get over your ego. This ain't going to be an easy walk. It's not going to be an easy transition for a lot of people. You're going to come into some conflicts within yourself that you're going to have to, even the word uses this term, but meditate on it. You have to meditate on some of this stuff. You're going to have to pick a side. There's a line very clearly drawn. You're going to have to choose the left or right of it. You have to pick one or the other. Like the Most High said, either be hot or cold. I can work with either one, hot or cold. If you're going to be lukewarm, though, I ain't got no use for you. And I'm paraphrasing the hell out of that, but that's essentially what it means. There ain't no position here for you. If you're going to accept a little bit of pedophilia, accept a little bit of homosexuality, accept a little bit of unclean foods, accept a little bit of these holidays, ain't no use for that over here, man.
Right.
That's creating division. Everybody wants to talk about how they're all about unity and how we're all about division. Yes. Yes, the UPK is all about division. The Bible is all about division.
Right.
There's a clear difference, and it's like not only a difference, but a boundary between life and death, for example. I mean, if you got a murderer on one hand, you don't want them in your house. If you got a family, you got kids, you do not want a pedophile in your house.
Right.
There's a dividing line there, right? That door right there. They are not allowed to come inside that door. But people they want to make allowances. They want to be so understanding and empathetic to a grown-ass man that a 47-year-old man that identifies as a 12-year-old girl so that he can get with a 13-year-old boy.
Good man.
Right? That's the world that we living in. That LGBT community, even though publicly they don't want to say that they are allowing pedophilia into their culture, they are allowing pedophilia into their culture. It's like, yes, sir.
A lot of them aren't pedophiles.
Yeah, that's how they got their start.
Exactly.
There's so many people out there in that community that would not be in that community had they not been molested as a child.
Right.
But because that's how you got your origin story, I mean, shit. Now you think that you were born that way.
Mm-hmm.
You were not born to be some pedophile's victim.
Right.
You were not born to be a homosexual. You were born as a daughter of Zion, as a prince of the power. That's what you were born as, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian.
Right.
And it's so righteous to be proud of that.
That's right.
To take that back. Take that back to the race. Take that back to the ghetto. Take that back to the barrio with you.
Right.
And lift your people up so that we ain't got to go back home worrying about some beef that we got with the brother across the street or on the other side of town. You can't go back to that mall now because you got beef with them niggas that run that neighborhood. Over something stupid. I bet it was something dumb. I guarantee you it was something retarded, man. Drugs or a woman. Or maybe you dressed better than them and they didn't like that. Maybe they dressed better than you and you was trying to, throw some shade on them. It was stupid. No matter what your problem was, it was dumb. Get over it.
Right.
These ain't the times to be bickering about pettiness. We got a job to do, and it's time to get your head out the gutter and get your mind back into the game, man.
That's right.
To bring everybody home. Everybody. The Lord requires his flock. Right. And it's our job to administer to them people. If you count yourself a man of God, you got a job to do. The UPK, it is hiring. The UP Commanding General Yohana is hiring.
Always.
There are positions available in every city, in every town, in every village, in every nook and cranny on earth. It's going to take you to get right, though, to do this job. Otherwise, you might find yourself back on that same crack pipe. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tell people, man, we gotta stop doing drugs. It leads to instability. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times.
That's right.
Now, what's our wisdom and our knowledge? Let's get some of these definitions, man. Damn, so like I got these out of order. Yeah, Salak. Yeah, where is this? Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So now again, this is going right back to our laws, statutes, and commandments, our customs, what governs us as a people. So if you want to learn about the wisdom and knowledge that's according to the Bible, you gotta come back to these records. You gotta get taught what that is, and you have to apply it to your life too. You can't just know that the Bible says very distinctly in two different passages in I think Leviticus and Deuteronomy, two very distinct, very blatant black and white, again creating a dividing line between what you can and cannot do. It says do not eat pork, or it doesn't say pork, it says pig. Swine, it says swine. Very distinctly, very clearly, it names that specific animal twice. It reiterates itself. The Bible reiterates itself many, many, many times over because we're a little hard-headed sometimes. So you got to hear it 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 times.
That's right.
Sir.
I mean, if I may, that's really the whole Bible.
Right.
But look, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I read the book of Proverbs, the entire book of Proverbs, and I'm gonna tell you something. They reiterated. I mean, like the scribes reiterated the word fool, wise, wicked, righteous. So many times, it's like they give so many scenarios, examples. All that matters. You know what I mean? Like in the Bible, it's going to reiterate everything. Like for example, a lot of people are against the Old Testament. A lot of people are against the New Testament. Understand this. The Old and New Testament is saying the same thing. Oh, by the way, the Apocrypha, that's in the middle, in between, is saying the same thing.
All
right? But it's saying it's giving you multiple scenarios, stories, examples to help you understand what you should and should not do. And that's it.
Damn right. And it's, how would I say? It's a healthy choice.
Right.
Now, everyone wants to talk about free will and things like that, which was not given to mankind, by the way. Just to let you know, in case there was some confusion on that topic also. We were told as a people to take dominion and subdue this earth. We were always meant to be in control. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The world needs order. I don't know if y'all looked outside your door lately, but people are crazy, man. There's some sick individuals out there. This world needs decency and order to function properly. And that's for the benefit of everybody. That's for the benefit of every nation of people. I don't care if you're heathen, I don't care if you're Israel. That's for the benefit of everybody. Decency and order. Just what's the measure of decency and order now? You know, that's one of the biggest questions that a lot of people are gonna have.
Right.
Just be a good person. Vote or die. Just say no to drugs. Everybody love everybody. We all bleed. We all bleed red. We're all the same on the inside. A lot of bleeding hearts out there that. Second.
If I may add
Okay.
one, we are all God's children.
We're all God's children. Yeah. All His children.
I don't see color.
I don't see color.
We all need to unite and be unified.
Hallelujah. Salah.
No. God, but I get the point. You know, if I may, Salah, you make a lot of great points. Because what you're saying is bulletin points to where you can show the downfall of those statements, of each one.
The consequences have repercussions.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's the choices that have been made, and a lot of the choices that have been thrust upon us. The boarding schools on the reservation, they didn't choose to go with them boarding schools, man.
Right.
They were threatened. Their families were threatened. Their families were murdered. The children were kidnapped. They still digging up bodies out there, up in Canada, up on the reservations. They still digging up bodies. Goddamn Pope went out there, wore a headdress, mocking our people, giving some feigned apology about what happened. Nobody's gonna go to jail for this. Nobody's gonna get held responsible for that. Those families are never gonna get healed from this. And what's this gonna do but cause instability? They're gonna look at it again, man. They're gonna look at this world that they cannot trust. Nobody out there is gonna have their back.
Right.
A lot of the reservations, you got devils on your tribal council, governing what goes on your land. All the treaties that have been broken. The Menominee Nation back in the 60s was how would I say? They were discredited as being a tribe. They were not acknowledged as being a tribe. They were not acknowledged as being a separate group of people. The violence that they were subjected to during that time, before, during, and after, inexcusable. In the 70s is when they finally got federally acknowledged and reinstated as a tribe of people.
Right.
And the violence that they are still subjected to. It causes instability, and it causes confusion, and it causes self-hate, and it causes fear.
Right. And
it causes mental illness. That people don't where do you turn to when everybody that you've ever relied on has stabbed you in the back and has abused you and has manipulated you, taken advantage of you, gained off of you, profited off of you, your destruction? Who do you trust? Where do you go to for some type of comfort, just to breathe for a second? To stop having to look over your shoulder at the next attacker.
Right.
That's gaining on you.
Right.
You need brothers. You need sisters that have a vested interest in your mental health and in your stability.
That's right.
You're gonna find that here in the UPK. It exists right here. Using our records that have been used to manipulate our people. And it's so sad what's been done. And nobody else cares. And like over here, sometimes I feel like my hands are tied because I can't do what I want to get this shit done. I gotta stay on a certain side of that line. Because that's not my job. That's how I feel about things. But that's not for me to do. I'd be wrong if I crossed that line. So what do? We hold classes every Tuesday and Wednesday. UPK, Minnesota, it's like No College, Minnesota. Every Friday, Lasawan Kudas class with Officer 5000 Maccabi. Every Saturday, the Sabbath service. And Lord allow, weather permitting, holding camp afterwards.
That's right.
That's going on in the Twin Cities. It's going on in Milwaukee. It's going on in Chicago. It's going on in Detroit and Flint. It's going on in St. Louis. It's going on in Kentucky. It's going on all over Texas and California, in Mexico and Puerto Rico, in Canada and the UK. I want it to go on in your city too.
Right.
And that's why we're building this for every neighborhood that we in.
Right.
All across the board. And it's gonna take work. And there's gonna be some things that we're gonna have to shed ourselves of.
Right.
You gotta shed yourself of this work to be born brand new. Of this society, of this way of life, everything that we've been taught and experienced. You gotta let that man and that woman die. Everything that we've been exposed to, man. The nightmares that keep us up at night, that's what we need to heal from. That's what we got to be reborn from. So that you're not taking that with you into the new world.
Right.
Get counseling if you need it. And don't be afraid of that either, especially with the brothers too, man. Don't think that just because you're a man, you can't ask for help. We're supposed to be the leaders of our families, of our children, of our women. You can't do that if you're crazy, man. You can't do that if you're on drugs. You can't do that if you're an alcoholic. You can't do that if you're unstable.
Right.
Mentally and emotionally and physically, you can't do it. I don't care if you're in a damn wheelchair. You don't need legs to lead, but you need the truth. This is how we get it. Right here, in this little room, with just us. This is how we start. This is how the next city gets built, and the next city gets built, and the next city gets built. It takes participation, though. You can't acknowledge the fact that there's crimes being committed and want nothing to be done about it. You know, like this ain't the neighborhood watch, man. Right. This is our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be by thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's what this is. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And soldiers to follow suit to get these orders accomplished in every city and every zone that we in.
Right.
With a very clear dividing line on what we will and will not accept. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy later end. If you get the counsel from a brother, follow the instruction. It might not make sense to you at the time. We might be batshit crazy. I'm willing to accept that if that's the case. It's just that we're not. And once you get this taught to you, I mean, it's gonna make sense. Things are gonna start clicking. This ain't a fairy tale. It's not propaganda. It's not rhetoric. This is our culture, man. This is our history. This book is our history. It's our Declaration of Independence.
Right.
These are our code of conduct. This is how we get that stability in our times.
Right.
By learning what these laws are, what these expectations are. It is an expectation. These are commandments. You are expected to follow suit and to teach others to do so.
Right.
Don't be a crackhead, like we just talked about the second ago. Don't be a crackhead trying to tell people not to smoke dope.
Right.
Just because you know of how evil and wicked that is, get clean. You know it's horrible for you, but now you're going to be a public image or a public figure trying to tell people what to do when you're hiding behind a dumpster, you know what I'm saying, blowing on a glass rod.
Right. Good. Right.
Who's that? It's like
you said, like my question is, if you all right, in this past week, or I'll say between last week and this week, I'm on the bus, going, to and fro to, my destination, and people ask me like, oh, do you smoke?
Right.
Even on the job, on the plantation, they ask me like, do you smoke? Do you got a cigarette? I'm like, no, I don't smoke at all. You feel me? Like, I don't smoke. I ain't got no lighter on me, nothing like that. They're like, oh, that's good. You never do it.
Right.
Then why the hell are you doing it?
Right.
How are you a smoker?
Right.
And you're gonna tell me not to smoke? Maybe you shouldn't be smoking. I would think, right? So why are you doing it? And it lets you know the hypocrisy of it. It shows you that they have an issue, they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't want that. I don't need that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's definitely good advice.
Yeah.
You should use your own advice.
Right.
In that sense. Oh yeah, never do it. Never do it. Oh, okay, no problem. I appreciate that, but you shouldn't do it either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how are you a smoker telling somebody else not to do it? That just shows the hypocrisy and that you got an issue. That you got a problem. You know what I mean? That, you should not do it.
So right.
If that's the case, if I shouldn't do it, nobody should do it.
Nobody.
How about that? And my thing is, if I shouldn't do it, why?
Right.
To me. Why? You know what I mean? Why should I not smoke? I know why I don't smoke. Because that's in the Bible, that we should never smoke.
Right.
We don't, although things come from the earth and all this other garbage that people speak about, yeah, that may be true. But who said we should smoke it? That's my thing. No one ever talks about that. The first thing that they always say comes from the earth. A lot of things come from the earth. And a lot of things that come from the earth is not good for us too. Like, for example, poison ivy.
I promise Salakia, I was gonna say, I promise you, Salakia.
Hey, one body.
I was gonna say it too.
For real. Like poison ivy, like that comes from the earth too.
Right.
Should we smoke it?
Right.
Nah, bro. Your ass is dead.
And certainly ain't nobody, grabbing a handful and just,
Exactly. Yeah, like poison ivy. Should we smoke it?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's so many examples of things that come from the earth that, I can ask, like, should we take it? Should we eat it? Should we smoke it? Should we do this and this and that? That's not the purpose of it.
No.
What the Most High said is what he said, that what we should do with it, we should not do with it. And smoking anything is in the Bible, and
right.
is a sin.
Right.
But now listen to this though. You will have people who will say, oh, I don't believe in the Bible.
Right.
Then what do you believe in? You know what I mean? Oh, you say that you're an atheist. That's very funny. You listen to somebody or something.
Right, yeah. Somebody told you that. Somebody taught you what atheism was.
Exactly. That's my point. So you make up the rules for yourself.
Yep.
That's why you are the way that you are and how you live your life, which is garbage. And you are filthy and disgusting.
Just be a good person.
Right.
You know,
I guess.
Like, what the hell does that even mean?
To be a good person. I do know what it means to be a righteous person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We got examples. We got a structure to follow to get that.
Right. And also too, Christ even said, oh man, good now. I'm gonna grab that scripture because I haven't seen scripture in a long time. Let me show you.
It's like, if I could, while you're looking that up.
Yeah, come.
Proverbs 19 and 21. There are many devices in a man's heart.
Right.
Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh, that shall stand. You can be a good person to your qualifications and to your standard and expectations.
Right.
That does not mean that you measure up.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, that's your own device. Those are your thoughts, your feelings.
Right.
Our thoughts are not his thoughts.
That's right.
His ways are not our ways. Mm-hmm. He told us what to do. Flat out, he told us what to do.
Right.
That should be your measure.
Right.
Fornicators, idolaters, adulterers are not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Nor the effeminate, nor the thieves, nor the drunkards.
Right.
It's like it, sir.
Now I got it. Yeah, actually right here. Luke chapter 18, verse 19. And Yahushua said unto him, why callest thou me good? None is good save one, that is God. Thou knowest the commandments: do not commit adultery, do not kill, do not steal, do not bear false witness, honor thy mother and thy father, honor thy father and thy mother.
There you go.
So I mean, you can say that you are good, everything like that. It comes down to whether you keep the law or you don't. You know what I mean? Because if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, in the eyes of the Lord, you are righteous.
Right.
If you're not, you are a sinner, which means that you are wicked. A lawbreaker, however you want to put it.
Damn right.
You are not righteous
Damn right.
if you are not keeping the laws. And that's that.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? So that's all I want to say. Chill out.
No, hey, Dwight, hey, give it up. Clap it up, man. That's a heavy point, man. That's a heavy point, and it's that simple. We just got them talking about it's that simple. Don't eat a pig. It's like, is it worth it? Mm-hmm. Don't eat bat. Mm-hmm. Nobody's got to tell you don't eat dog shit. You take to that one pretty easily. But for whatever reason, we're banging our heads against the wall for very simple and mundane excuses to do what you want to do, to live the life that you want to live. That is not in accordance with the Most High. Yahweh our King, when he come back, will not be pleased with his subjects. If that's the course of action, I would take it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Again, when the Bible says that the Lord requires his flock, right, it's to save them from this disruption, from this hell that we're living in, man. Because they're not going to do this job. Uh-huh. Your congressmen, your aldermen, your city council, they're not going to do this job. Now, some of them might actually have sincerity. Some of them might actually be sincere and concerned for the betterment of their people. Some of them might actually care. All right, you got to do something though. That would promote that message that you're trying to send to the people. So, for example, Psalms 133, verse 1. Behold, that's not the one I want to get. We're going to get to that. Because again, there's trust issues. We got trust issues as a people. And it makes sense, given everything that we've been through and survived. yeah, you're not gonna trust, especially people that have like a stance of authority, and walking around parading, this book that's been used against us so many times, chopped up and sloppily glued back together to promote, a certain vision and way of life, rewritten, reinterpreted based off of somebody else's feelings and understandings. Those are a lot of those devices that we just got them reading about in a man's heart. All those what are NSB? I don't even know some of the different terms for the different Bibles that they got out there. You got like even the New King James version. For the most part, that's still integrally accurate. Just they change some of the words more, to more modern terms. Instead of thou, they'll have you in there and things like that. Hey, Shalom, Sister Fresh. That's what's up. Oh, the what? Oh, that was just for him? Oh, okay. All right. Y'all go eat then. I'll just sit here by myself. Be all right. Okay, okay. It's like biblical integrity. Um, it's it's a responsibility to convey this message the right way. And if you don't believe that you have the 100% truth of it, you shouldn't be trying to teach nothing. You should keep your mouth shut. You should stand off in the side. And here's the thing too, like this ain't even to try to destroy or criticize any brother or sisters. Really, like there's a lot of sisters that try to count themselves as knowing the word of God. Some like for men and women, just y'all need to shut up altogether, just across the board. Yeah, and that should show that we're not biased. It don't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you're bond or free, if you're Jew or Gentile, whatever. Hey, just shut up. Shut up. Do what we tell you to do, and I promise you'll see a difference in your life. And I know that's a rough thing to hear. No grown man or woman wants to be told to shut up by somebody maybe half their age or half their size even. Maybe it's just a physical stature thing. You think you're bigger than somebody, so can't nobody tell you to shut up. All right. David proved Goliath wrong. I'll just put it like that. And this is the spiritual warfare. That I think that's a good analogy for the spiritual warfare that we under right now. You got these megalith societies and corporations and governments towering over the people, like them cedars in Lebanon type shit. I may have misquoted that, Salakia, but giving them orders, pushing their agenda onto them, thinking that they're above correction. What's it say in Isaiah, I believe it was, where Esau was talking about, who could, they dwell in the cleft of the rock, they have nested among the stars, who can bring them down? The Lord is going to bring them down. The Most High is going to bring them down. Now, as a people, in the meantime, until Yahweh send Yahweh shot back, we need to stand up. We need to stand up for our culture, our customs. That's not talking violence like Islam. Like Islam does with their jihads blowing up this, that, and the third. That's not required of us. That's not allowed. That's not allowed to do. We ain't allowed to do that. We are allowed to criticize those people that fancy themselves as leaders and teachers, though. So now Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Your Christian teachers, pastors, preachers, Catholics, your imams, your gurus, they are ungodly men and women. trying to seek counsel from them, it's only going to, because it's meant to breed confusion and strife. There's this one, what the hell is he? He's an Elamite, some East Indian guru, soothsayer. So wise, you know what I'm saying? Like they know so much, so smart, probably the smartest ever. And their way of life is right. Their advice is right. Their vision of peace is right. So now, first, where did they learn that from? Or whatever concept they're trying to push, where did they learn that from? And how do they prove this wrong? Because we're claiming that we're right. We're claiming that the Bible is right. A lot of other people out there claiming that the Bible is fictitious, that it's wrong. So how do you know if you're getting the counsel of ungodly men? Just to finish this verse, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. That's basically saying, watch who you around, man. Watch who you learning from, who you're trying to get counsel from, getting advice from. How would I say this gently? Well, not even gently. Not everybody's smart. Not everybody is smart. And you got some people whose gifts just, it ain't this. It's not certainly not to lead people, to help identify the problems and come up with the solutions for the people, whether it's individuals or whole communities, families, whatnot. There is a very objective right and wrong way to do things. It's very clear. It's very it's as black and white as it's right to not drink bleach, no matter how thirsty you are. It would be wrong to drink bleach. That's pretty clear. I think for the most part, we can all kind of agree and rally on that point. That's a very clear and bold statement of right and wrong. This is just as blatantly black and white and one-sided. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, this is your path. This is your path to mental wellness and stability, and your guidance on how to seek counsel. There was one scripture I wanted to get. All right, so Ecclesiasticus, which is going to be in the Apocrypha, or if you have the King James. So now you got the Holy Bible, the 1611 edition, which has the so-called the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament in it. Otherwise, you can get say something like this on the spine, just the King James Holy Bible. It won't say 1611, and then you can get the Apocrypha sold separately. Just so you know what to look for, so you can get the truth. Now, a lot of people are going to also argue about books that were taken out, uncanonized by the Catholics, this, that, and the third, Jubilee and Jasher and the Book of Enoch, which if you really read into that, very contradictory to the Bible and are full of weird statements. Like some of that stuff, it's a little outlandish. So being able to identify where to go for the truth can be a daunting task, because there's so much information out there, especially in today's age with the internet and whatnot. So much information out there that can be presented. that anybody can just spew advice about. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 32, verse 19, do nothing without advice. And when thou hast done, and it's like, and when thou hast once done, repent not. So again, take that advice. It's going to be, if you get it from the truth, I mean, it's going to be a righteous counsel. It's going to be a righteous advice.
That's right.
And don't sit there and look back on it like, oh, well, shit, maybe I should have gone to Dr. Phil instead. Because now Captain Malquad and Slack, sure, to throw you out there, but just an example. Captain Malquad told me to do this. Maybe I should have listened to Dr. Phil, though. Things might be, some of that counsel might be uncomfortable adjustments to your life. But they're not, you're not going to have been lied to. You leaving already? All right, that's what's up. All right, getting more. Oh, all right. You're gonna know them by their fruits. You got it. All right, come on. Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. We've been taken advantage of so many times. It is a task. It's laborious to try to figure out what the truth is and who we can trust. After everything we've gone through as a people, like it'll drive you crazy. So again, I know how this sounds. Everybody I know was a product of this too, of being lied to, of being taken advantage of having trust issues, PTSD. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing. Everybody gonna try to present themselves as a friend, as somebody reliable, somebody you can trust, you can count on, and they're gonna fail you. They're gonna break your heart. Because inwardly they are ravening wolves. Now, verse 16, you shall know them by their fruits. Nobody can compare themselves to the UPK and the Commander General Yana. Nobody. Nobody has this track record. Nobody. Nobody has our reputation. Nobody. And we are not affiliated with any organization. Just like that demon had said. That got confronted by what was his name? Some priests, some prophets, and their sons, try to what's the word? Salakia, what's the word? Try to extract a demon, exorcism. They try to exorcise a demon out of this one man. And they all got thrashed. They all got messed up. That demon recognized their pedigree, that it was not of Yahushua. It was not of Paul even. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of went down, they recognized the rank in that respect too. And I mean, they got sorely slapped on their heads, man. I mean, the clothes were rent. They ran off naked and afraid. You're gonna be able to identify who's right and who's wrong, who's in the truth. We talked about this not that long ago too. Who's in the truth and who isn't, by their fruits, the work that they produce. Just you got to be willing to work. It's like I said, it's going to take participation. It's not magic. You're not going to hear a book, chapter, and verse, and all of a sudden some spell going to be on you, and like that, you're gonna. For some people, no. like that, you're not going to just be able to quit smoking cigarettes, for example. You might be able to hear that passage and that night quit cold turkey. That's because that information that you were given and you putting that into practice. The words themselves are not going to like magically make you do this, that, or the third. You have to actually apply it. Hearing the words doesn't do anything unless you put it in the work. But that's how this is when we get the instruction. I think I closed that page. But when you hear the instruction, put it into use. And then repent not either. Don't ever second guess somebody telling you not to, do drugs. There's nothing wrong with not doing drugs. There's no way that you can try to normalize that. Damn, so lucky I got rid of the one. But when you receive the instruction, you have to apply it. You got to put into practice. You got to put into use so that you can actually see the effect of it. Otherwise, it does nothing. You heard the words, but you didn't do anything about it. You didn't follow the instruction. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be hard to reach because of mental instability, which is why we have counselors here in the UPK. And again, the websites themselves are down. The schools are still very much open everywhere across the board. We're located here in the Twin Cities, in Minneapolis and St. Paul. We're open up on, we've got contacts open up on the res in Wisconsin, on Menominee res, in Milwaukee, all over the Midwest, all over the North, all over the South, the East and the West Coast. If there's a number that you need to reach that you can't find on the website because it's currently shut down, it's currently under construction, give any school a call and we'll be able to direct you to the right place. Matthew 17, verse 16. It's like in Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? You're not gonna, righteous men, legitimate princes of the power, they're not gonna bring the bad with the good. You're not gonna harvest the profitable, goods of that seed that you planted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like here, and it's like I ain't trying to be like all allegorical and metaphorical and trying to throw out all these similes and similitudes. It's very simple, very simple. It's like if I'm overcomplicating this shit. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? You're not going to bring in something that's so delicate and precious and special and meant for a better occasion and for a purpose. You're not gonna gather thorns, something that's gonna damage that produce. You're not gonna gather them together. You're gonna separate that, and you're gonna see the good of it. You're gonna see the good works of it. You're gonna see the fruit of it. Verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A crack house is going to produce crackheads and crack addicts and drug dealers. The Christian church, it's going to produce hypocrites and fornicators and idolaters, adulterers, pedophiles, homosexuals. Israelite School, UPK, is going to produce priests and prophets. It's going to produce princes of the power and daughters of Zion. That's what it's gonna produce. Because that's all it's ever produced. Again, you can trace it back. You can look at the works being done here. It's very tangible. It's very much recorded. You can find your spot here. Just know that it's gonna take work, and it's gonna cost you everything. Everything. And in return, your people will gain everything. So if you're just here for yourself, probably not gonna be that good of an experience. You're probably gonna have a negative review on Google My Business for the UPK, which is fine. The rest of the world has already given us a thumbs down. Not that big of a deal. We're used to it. This is literally what we signed up for, pretty much, to combat that and to promote this, because this is what's going to save us. This is what's going to bring us back to a whole, instead of all these little individual pieces broken off and scattered about, that again our enemies can just pick at. All these vultures, all these crows, just picking at these little individual break-off groups, individualites that have no direction, no stability behind them, no leaders. They don't have any leadership. They don't have a direction. They don't have a directive. They have no orders to follow, because they're just of themselves. Nobody really just tells themselves what to do. Like that whole kind of free will thing. Nobody's telling themselves what to do. You're taking your cue from somewhere, whether you believe it or not. You're taking your cue from somewhere. So now investigate the shit out of that tree, find out its roots, if it was the type of soil that it was grown in, what kind of fruit it's gonna bear. Make your decision from there. Mental health is a very important and serious issue that needs to be addressed in our nation amongst Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have counselors on standby 24/7 to help with any needs, any questions, comments, or concerns. For those men and women that are capable to put work in to help get this nation established, you are expected to, you are required to, you are ordered. This is your directive. Help us get this job done. Establish in your city facilities that are able to administer to the needy, to the homeless, to the hungry, to the orphans, to the widows. That takes participation. This ain't a democracy. Ain't no Republicans, ain't no Democrats. This is very much so what's the word? Salakia. Can't think of it. I'm not that political, so Salakia. I don't retain that one. This is very much a we say it, do it. We say it, do it. We got the final word on it. Follow suit, shut up, and get to work, more or less. And I say that with love. It's like if it didn't come off as such. I say that with love. And with that, we are the ISUPK, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commander Jonah Yohana. We are not affiliated with any organization. Pay your tithes. If you need contact information, you can give us a call at any time. No Cowards, Minnesota, all over social media, Facebook, YouTube. You can get in contact with us if you need to reach another region that maybe you don't know how to get in touch with them. We can give you the contact information for that too. So we're gonna get into security announcements. Get ready, man. I know they just got done with the Northeast cookout. I believe Vegas is coming up. Las Vegas is coming up. So if you're able to make that trip, definitely get it together so that you can join your brothers and sisters out that way and get to know them. You get to know them and experience, this for yourself. Get to know this tree and see what it's producing. Judge that spirit. See if it's right or wrong for you. We're always right though, so not that big a deal. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ishor. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So now again, with the current website still being under construction, you can still go to the Zelle app if you have that available. First name Israelite School, last name UPK, email ties@isupk.com. You can make donations, pay your tithes there. If the school near you has a Cash App available, you can delegate your tithes and donations through that school also, and they'll get it to the appropriate treasury department. For us, we still got the Cash App, so $ all caps UPK Minnesota. Accept any and all donations. Free will offering, we got that done. Upcoming holy convocations. The memorial of the blowing of the trumpet, September 25th at sundown to September 26th at sundown. Get in contact with the school near you. Again, if you need help getting in contact with them, give us a call. We can help facilitate. We can help mediate that connection, and then you'll be in good hands. Any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, and select the Vegas cookout. Get ready for the Vegas cookout too. I think they got the Salaki to the men above me. I think they have the GoFundMe for the Vegas cookout. Any donations that you are able to make to it, hit them up. See how you can get in contact with them. Any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pant, headband, and/or scarf. With that, you can say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. So Amadim, which means stand. Upanyakudam, turn to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, you can find that in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakotka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Natan Lanaw, Lakam, Ko, Yavam, Wasalak Lanaw, Kabawaf Now, Kasalak Now, Kabawati now, Wala, Tabiana, Bansawan, Abo, Hausha now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'al, Wa'ata Para, La'ulam, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Pray to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Barak Lanaw, Waya Shalom, Wahabaya, Sapari, Barak, Rafa'ah, Magun, Hagun. Now, at this time, if you say the name of a loved one once, everyone repeats that name once. If you follow us on social media, type in the name of a loved one in the chat box. We'll send the prayers up with you.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
Without Zion.
2
Tarak,
Tarak,
Amagabar,
Mangabal,
Kawanyala,
Wanyala,
Kanagabar,
Kanagabal,
all of Israel,
all of Israel. Officer Makabi,
Officer Makati,
Israelite School, UPK,
Israelite School, UPK,
UPK Minnesota,
became Minnesota,
UPK Reds,
became Reds,
UPK Milwaukee,
it's like, became Milwaukee,
UPK Chicago,
became Chicago,
Benjamin,
Benjamin,
Jamin,
James,
Rakapa,
Rakapa,
Annalie,
Annalie,
the McIntosh family,
Lactash family,
Raphael,
Raphael,
all of Israel.
all of Israel. Sister South Dakota,
Sister South Dakota,
Sapporo,
Sapporo,
Izara,
Azara,
Yapa,
Gapa,
Tazayah,
Tazayat,
Shara,
Sarah,
Makawana,
Mukawna,
all of Israel.
all of Israel. Bashem Yahushua,
Vashem Yahushua,
Tuad Aman.
Dawar Aman.
In English, Lord in the name of Yahushua,
Lord name Yahushua,
bless us and Israel.
bless us in Israel,
And the school,
in the school,
bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect
protect
our loved
our
ones.
loved ones.
In the name of Yahushua,
Name Yahushua,
Tuad Aman.
Dawar Aman.
And blessed are you, Yahweh,
Bless are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things
and
living.
all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
name Yahushua,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
right now.
to evils and
This
curses,
is curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment, destruction,
to the heathen
to the heathen,
that speak against
that
us,
speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
thy prophets,
the
the
teachers,
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
Israelite brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the
and
school,
the school,
to evils and curses,
curses,
punishment and
punishment,
destruction
destruction,
to the heathen.
to the heathen,
Shake
and
loose
shake
the
loose
treasure of the rich of
the
Israel
treasure of the rich of Israel,
that refuse to give to the
that
school,
refuse to give the school,
force their riches,
force the riches,
to enter thy
to
sanctuary.
thy sanctuary,
To evils and
to
curses,
the curses,
punishment and
to
destruction
destruction,
to the
to
Edomites,
the Edomites,
and the
and
nations,
the nations,
they drug
and the
dealers,
drug dealers,
court system,
court system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our
all the
enemies,
governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Mascomatizing,
Cosmopolitan,
gay movement,
gay movement,
lesbian movement,
lesbian,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
witchcraft,
as a space program,
space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet,
and the airways,
and the airways,
cable access channels,
access channels,
the radio
and
channels,
radio channels,
convict the spirit
convict the
of
spirit
many of thy people
many of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop us,
and bring swift destruction
place with
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way.
that stand in the way.
Don't try to stop us
Try to
from
stop us,
broadcasting your words
broadcast your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues,
loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause go to and fro
through the earth and consume
through
them.
the earth consumed.
Let the plagues shake the house of the thief
Let the place at the house of the thief
and the
and
murderer.
the murder.
Let Yahweh
Let
shine.
Yahushua,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel,
come down with the flying
down
saucers,
flying saucers,
punish all the heathens
punch all of
that
them.
come up against us
Who against
as
us,
we speak thy word.
speak thy word,
Cause it to be known by all.
cause you known by all.
It is the angels that have done it.
Angels have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Cause spread to the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it that
Cause
come.
you to shake out that
The
come.
name of Yahushua.
And Yahushua,
Thank you always.
you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So to the front. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Magim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatham, Yazamatah, courtesy salute for the sisters. Any sisters in the room with you, turn to them, sorry to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Magim, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Latamba, Hashem, Yahushua, Yazamatah, class dismissed. Oh yeah, Salakia. How could I forget? Forgive me, sis. Shout out to Sister Azar for bringing some food in, feeding the brothers, feeding the priests and prophets. Great work that y'all do, and that's what we talk about with this brotherhood, this sisterhood. It's that important. And it takes that level of participation. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't go unrewarded. But that's a selflessness that we do here. I don't know what they do over there. Can't answer for them. But I know what we do here. So shout out to that sister. Azar. Go on, sis.
It's like, if I may, it's like a sister that said also too, just send up prayers for Amagabar,
Maccabia, Sapara, Kana, Kawa, Azara, Kawan,
Tarak,
Kodash,
all of UK schools,
all UPK schools,
all of Israel,
Officer
Officer Malak,
Malak,
Bashimi Awashara.
Bashimi Awashara.
Tuwara Ama.
Tuwara Ama. All right, clap it up. All right, sis.